Hey friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope that you're doing well. There is a big fragrance clone that is finally readily available in North America that a lot of people have been waiting on for months actually. Up until now, really the only way to get a bottle was to basically get lucky and just be looking online and be able to scoop one up off of like eBay or something. But it was not readily available if you were in the US or Canada. Now it is. It is this one right here, Liquid Brun. This is from Fragrance World / French Avenue. Same thing pretty much. And this is a clone of Parfums de Marly's Althair. And in today's video, I will let you know why this is a fragrance clone that people have wanted for so long. I'll have that one linked in the description. Feel free to check it out there. If you want to go ahead and pick yours up, I would anticipate that this will probably sell out pretty quick initially. That's how it usually goes with fragrance clones that people have been clamoring for. You know, once they pop up, they sell out, and then it takes a little while to get back in stock. It's that whole song and dance. So do be aware of that. If you've been around for a minute, you know what I'm talking about. If it does sell out, just be patient. I'm assuming it's gonna come back in stock, but you'll probably see more people trying to get it and like flip it for a much higher price point. I wouldn't pay that. Just be aware. Before we jump into the presentation on this one, here are some codes that you can use at fragflex.com to save yourself a little money. So when you shop there, use those and don't pay quite as much. All right, let's get started. Let's check out the presentation starting with the box. So here's the box, looks really nice. You have the name of the fragrance, size and concentration on the front there. Eau de Parfum 80 mils is the size. Up top, you have the name of the house. On the bottom, you have your barcode. And on the back, you have your ingredient information. Then on the spine of the box right here, you have the notes of the fragrance. Now, when you first get this, you may not know exactly where you open it. You open it from right here. So don't pull on the little gold piece right here because that's glued on and you don't wanna like rip that off. I know it's pretty obvious, but I guarantee you there's gonna be somebody who gets this and they're a little impatient. They start tugging on it and everything and they like rip this piece off and then they're like, ah! So just a little pull right there. And it does have a magnetic closure. So anyway, on the inside here, that's where your bottle will sit inside this foam cutout. And then you have the name of the fragrance once again on the inside of the little door there. And here we have the bottle. You've got like a little crystal on the front of the bottle and also on the top of the cap. You have the name of the fragrance there on the front. It says French Avenue on the back, and the cap clicks into place. But I wouldn't really pick this up super hard by the cap because that might happen. Let's go ahead and do the usual thing that we do. Let's share a couple sprays, starting with this one. There we go, atomizer works well. And then the PdM. All right. Now, as I said, this is a clone that people have been looking for a while in North America, and it's been just a pain in the butt to find this stuff. Thankfully, the wait is over, and now we'll talk about whether it's really worth it, worth the hype, and how close it is to the PdM. And if you're unaware for any reason of Parfums de Marly Althair, this has quickly become one of the more hyped, one of the more sought after Parfums de Marly fragrances for fall and wintertime use. It smells awesome, it really does. Initially when I first smelled it, it smelled too sweet to me, almost like syrupy sweet, like an overdose, and smelled kind of like Dunhill Desire Red, only made niche. But then I came back to it a couple weeks later and it had, I don't know, filled out, it felt like. Just felt higher quality, lost that syrupy aspect, replaced it with more of a warm, spicy aspect. And it's one that continues to grow on me. I love this stuff. This has cinnamon, cardamom, bourbon, vanilla, praline, among other notes. It is sweet, but also has a nice warm aspect, a little gourmand touch to it as well. Massive compliment puller, good performance. And for lovers of vanilla forward fragrances, that's a darn good one. And Liquid Brun is unmistakably a Parfums de Marly Althair clone. This is not anything that you will ever confuse for something else. When you smell this, you know right away what it is. Yeah, Is it the exact same? No, but it's about as close as you can possibly get. So here are the differences, at least to me. When you first spray these two on, that is the moment where they are most different. And they're still actually really close in the opening. It's just that's when they're most different. Mainly, you get more of the warm spice from Althair over here. With Liquid Brun, you get that still. You get the cardamom cinnamon blend. So now to Liquid Brun. How does it smell? How close is it to Althair? Well, I'll tell you, off the top and into the dry down, it is unmistakably Althair. Like when you smell this, you're gonna be like, it's really close. The most different part, the part where they're furthest apart, is going to be in the opening, the initial opening. And it's not that they're hugely different when you first spray it on, but there are a couple small differences. So Althair, when you first spray this one on, you get that warm, spicy blast, the cinnamon, the cardamom, right off the rip. And also you've got that vanilla, the elemi, the praline, everything kind of bubbling underneath when you spray Althair on. Liquid Brun, you get most of that, but it has maybe like a touch more freshness when you first spray it on. It's not quite as warm and spicy. You still get that warm, spicy aspect from this one. It's just not quite as ramped up as over here. So you do have a little bit of a difference there when you first spray it on. And if you do it side by side, you'll be able to go, oh yeah, a little difference. But if you're not doing a side-by-side comparison, then when you smell this, even off the top, you'll be like, oh, yeah, that's pretty much just the Parfums de Marly. It's like, this is absurdly close. This is one of those clone fragrances that you don't have to go, oh, this part's different, that part's different, this is a twist, that's a twist. This is just really ridiculously similar. So in that opening, like I said, little difference, a little more warm spice over here, slightly fresher, maybe you could say a tick more of that orange blossom aspect coming through over here. That little bit of white florals, like a hint more in Liquid Brun. But as it dries down, and I'm not talking about 30 minutes later, I'm not talking about 45 minutes later, none of that. I'm talking like 5-10 minutes later, it's as close to imperceptible of a difference as you're gonna find. So I'm actually wearing right now both of these. I've got Liquid Brun over here, and I have Althair over here. Of course, I sprayed them on the tester strips. It is so similar. It is insane. Off skin, it's just like, nobody is gonna be able to tell the difference, okay? Off a strip, same thing. There's a reason that people have been trying to find this, and then the people that have been able to get lucky and scoop up a bottle have been like, yo, you gotta get this. And it's because they absolutely 100% nailed Althair. I don't know if it even matters if other brands come out with an Althair alternative, because I don't see how it will be better than this. At most, it will be, you know, as good as this, but it's that close. I don't know that you can improve upon this outside of just scooping up the OG, you know, just get the real thing. That's the only way that you could like say, well, that's better. You get the same type of sweetness that comes out in Liquid Brun as it dries down. Again, extremely similar. You get that warm spice. You get that touch of woodiness underneath everything. The quality smells fan-freaking-tastic here. Legitimately, in the air and even up close. This is just about as close to a dead ringer as I have ever smelled a clone fragrance get. And I know I'm harping on this a little bit about how close it is, but this is one of those times where just, you gotta wear it, and then you'll be like, oh, I get it. I'm telling you, even side by side, off the strips or off skin, you are absolutely splitting the most minute of hairs when you say, oh, well, this is a little different, that's a little different. Once you get out of the opening, it's just, you could mix these up, I wouldn't know what's what. Quality's good, smells ultra similar. What about performance? Althair, great performer. Well, I will say, The atomizer is not bad here, but it's better on the PDM, so do take that into account. But assuming you get the same amount of distribution, you could wear this about 1-to-1. Like the performance is pretty much the same. It doesn't perform weak off my skin. It's not one of those ones that I had to like sit and let macerate or whatever. It was pretty much ready to roll right off the get-go, you know, first time I sprayed it on. So what's the drawback? I don't think there's one. Liquid Brun is nuts. This crushes, this is awesome. This is pretty much, I feel like, gonna be the definitive Althair alternative. You know how people will say like, well, this is the definitive alternative or clone of this, and this is the definitive one for that. Like the one that everybody gravitates toward, that's this. So if you're looking for an Althair clone, you've gotta check this out. It is surprisingly awesome. I know a lot of people have been really pumped with Aether Extrait. Ether. Why do I always say Aether? It's because they said the A there. It's A-E-T-H-E-R Extrait by Fragrance World. It's like a green bottle, looks like cut glass. I know a lot of people are really psyched about Aether Extrait, which is a clone of Parfums de Marly Greenly, and that one's well done, but this one is like a step further. So there it is, Liquid Brun. Finally, you can get it without just having to trawl the internet for hours looking for a bottle, and it's worth the wait. This stuff is top notch. Fall and winter time, it's gonna be one of the best clones you can get. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys later.